Hey guys, I'm at my favorite place, and I was thinking about the fact that I have really interesting conversations about with a lot of people from around the world um, about ministry and about the kingdom, and and it's interesting um, what people focus on. And one of the things that I've had to learn over the past few years is that I have a call, and I have to be true to my call, and I have to have clarity of my call. Now, I have a lot of ministry friends, actual ministers, people in the ministry, and I'm sorry you can't see my eyes, but it's a little sunny out. Um, and then I have a lot of lay friends, laity friends. I have a lot of Christian entrepreneur friends, and and it's interesting what people focus on. So I I have people who have a ministry, and they're very important ministries. They're very important, and yet it's like if I'm not as bought in and sold out and energy poured into their ministry as much as they do, then they challenge me, or they make me feel guilty, or um, that I don't really believe well. Like there's something wrong with my Christianity because I am not as sold out to their issue as much as they are. And really learning about what is my call. So I have this piece of paper on the wall in my office at my house that says, "Feed my sheep." Feed my sheep. Okay? So that is my call. He said, "Feed my sheep." So then I have to ask myself, what does he want me to feed his sheep with? And so there's a lot about just, God, Jesus, spirituality, all that kind of stuff. And I can go into that. However, since I'm feeding his sheep, my assumption is that they already believe those things. Okay, so they're his sheep, so they're already followers. And so I don't spend a lot of energy on those kind of basics. And so I tell people that I'm a revivalist, not an evangelist. I love to talk to people about God. I don't care who they are. I mean, if they're not believers, I will talk to them all day long. So that's not the issue. The issue is what is my call? Okay, so my call is to actually spend time with believers and talking to them about what God told me is the reason why they get stuck in their spirituality and in their personal growth. His two words were identity abuse. I have fish that are trying to be caught right now. I have a pole in the water. So identity abuse, your identity given to you by God. He knows who you are. He can commune with you. He has no trouble understanding who you are. We have difficulty understanding ourselves. The reason why people get stuck in their identity is because some message somewhere told them that they have to live up to a standard that they're not living up to in their mind. And they're looking at culture. They're looking at all these external things to try to identify their sense of self. So as you get closer to God spiritually and you allow him to tell you who you are in his eyes, and just the basics of your spiritual self. And that's why worship and prayer is so important, to just spend those times in communing with God so that he can remind you of the value of who you are just simply because you exist. So that is my call on my life. My goal is to spread the concept of identity abuse to anybody, whether it be the Christian world or non-Christian world, because the understanding of I have a healthy identity that somebody's lied to me about and now I believe lies about my identity, that knowledge has set people free to be able to live in an amazing sense of freedom of just existence, and be able to sit before God with a clearness about who you are as a person. And so I there's a lot of things that are really important to me, but they're not as important to me as the person who's pitching them at me, because I have a call, and my sincerity is on my call. And so, I'm gonna catch this fish because it's really irritating me, and I'll bring it in and I'll let you see it. Nope, it got loose. He hit it a couple of times. Let it go. Let's try to catch it off my lizard. I don't know if you can see that. And so, yeah, I just wanted to inspire you to be true to your call and to not feel guilty if you don't have all of the other skills. So I know that a lot of pastors are just overwhelmed with so much responsibility that they can't relax, they can't enjoy their call. And there's so much administration, there's so much other stuff that they spend their time on. It's really frustrating. And so I want you to really spend some time thinking about what is your call, and can you and can you sit with that and know that that's okay, and then again be able to say no to the things that aren't part of your call, or within reason, but to be able to lean into the things that fulfill you as a person. And so when you're leaning into your call, typically that feels really good. So anyway, I hope you guys really have a wonderful day, and that today you'll allow God to really speak truth into your heart, and that it'll inspire you to feel good about your call, and to spend some time really leaning into that and feeding that and pouring into that, because I think that's where your joy will come from. Love you guys.